So Grow a Garden has a massive problem, and it's had a massive problem for a long time. It's the economy, the shekel economy. It is shot, it is inflated, it is broken. And if I was in charge of Grow a Garden for a day, just 24 hours, this is what I would do to fix it. I would not just take everything from you, I would also give you something critical, something you've been asking for a long time. And I think by doing this, we can soften the blow of fixing the economy. So what we're going to do first, this is what we're going to do first. First, we're going to talk about the problem. What is the problem? Why is it a problem? And then we're going to talk about the solution. How do we fix it? And how does everybody enjoy fixing it? If this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel. And let's get into the video. This is the problem. 9 quintillion, 4 sextillion, 305 quintillion, that's me. 2.6 million. Oh, you only have millions of shekels. Oh, you poor, poor child. Everybody, and I mean pretty much everybody, has more than $1 quadrillion in this game. I know this because I ran multiple live streams. Yes, multiple live streams with thousands of people in the live streams. And I sent out polls to the live stream audience and I asked them, how many of you have more than 1 quadrillion shekels? And you know how many people said yes? Can you guess? Come here. Can you guess? 93%. 93% of my audience multiple times has more than 1 quadrillion shekels. This is a big problem. Why is this a big problem? Because it breaks the fundamental game loop of the game, and as such, people get bored playing the game very easily. And it has helped with the shift towards everyone being obsessed about pets and everyone no longer caring about plants in a gardening game. And you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. Go ahead and log into a public server and take a look at how many people have more than 1 quadrillion shekels. Then log out. Log into another public server. Check again. Do that 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, and look at how many people are sitting on absurd amounts of money in this game. And why does that matter? Oh, come over here. Come on. So if we go into the seed shop, the most expensive seeds, the most expensive things in the game costs millions or maybe even billions or maybe even trillions, right? But how many trillions can you fit into a quadrillion or a quintillion or a sextillion? An absurd amount. Having $1 quintillion, having $1 quadrillion in this game makes it so you can buy anything as many times as you want, endlessly, for forever. It removes the challenge of the game. Let's talk about the game loop, okay? Many of you already kind of like intuitively understand what the game loop is, and many of you have been in one of my previous live streams where I demonstrated the game loop for you, but for the rest of you, who is probably a big chunk, I'm going to talk to you about the game loop now. This is how Grow a Garden functions, okay? So you have this circle. This is the circle of Grow a Garden. At the top, the first thing you do is you buy your seeds, okay? That's pretty cool. And then once you're done buying your seeds, you plant your seeds. And then the seeds grow. And then once they grow, they make the fruits, and the fruits become mutated, right? Once they become mutated enough, they're worth a bunch of money. You take them and you harvest the fruits. It's pretty cool. Then you go and you sell the fruits to make money, and then you buy again. And this is the basic game loop of Grow a Garden. This is how it functions. You buy, blah, 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 blah. You sell, you buy again. But what happens when you have quadrillions and quintillions and sextillions of shekels because you took your pet and you sold to that guy for 5 sextillions and I have all the money in the world? Well, you no longer have to sell anything, right? Selling is done. You no longer have to sell anything. And since you no longer have to sell anything, it makes it really easy to buy things. You don't really have to worry about buying anything anymore, right? That's done. And since you don't have to worry about buying anything, you don't really have to plant any new seeds unless you want it for cosmetic reasons, right? That's done. And since you don't have to plant anything, you don't have to grow anything. And since you don't have to grow anything, you don't have to worry about mutations, because why do you have to worry about mutations? Most of them look ugly and make everything look horrible. And you don't need the money, so you don't need mutations. And since you don't need mutations, you don't have to worry about harvesting because you're not going to sell. If you have all the money in the world, the game loop breaks entirely. And if the game loop of the game is broken, the game is broken. The fundamental promise. Do you remember when you planted your first carrot and you were so excited? And all of a sudden you got more and better seeds and you worked your way towards better and better seeds. You made more and more money. And then all of a sudden, during admin abuse, the admin gifted us an amazing seed and you bought it with your hard-earned money and you were so excited. Remember those days? Those days are long gone. They're long gone because everyone has money. What can we do about it? How do we make shekels matter again? And when shekels matter, your seeds matter and your plants matter. And logging in Saturday mornings for the admin mutations matter. And all of that matters once again. How do we do it? It comes down to this map. The world, everybody has been complaining about the same old map. Everybody has been complaining about the size of our gardens. We want more room. We want to do more things. As a band-aid, the developers gave us bonus gardens, right? We got garden number 2, garden number 3, garden number 4. But we've been asking for a map change for a long time. We've been asking for bigger gardens for a long time. And this is my proposed concept. We are going to tie in a massive garden map refresh and tie it into the great shekel fix of our time. Here's how we're going to do it. Step 1, the developers need to take time to develop a new map. Because with this new map, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to make new players excited and old players excited. Hey, there's a new map. And you're going to entice players to reset their shekels down to 0. Yes, you're going to entice them, not force them. Entice them. Give them a carrot, a beautiful golden carrot. And that beautiful golden carrot is a better version of the map. And you dangle it in front of players and go, look at this. Look at this beautiful thing you can have. I can give it to you. But you have to sacrifice all your shekels. Because making a player willingly reset for a beautiful bonus, an amazing thing to acquire, is not a bad thing. It will not make them feel bad. So here's what we do. We make this map bigger. They've talked about reducing it down to 4 players per map instead of 5 or 6 players per map. That's a great idea. Reduce it to 4 players per map. Imagine, if you will, I almost knocked over my coffee. That could have been a disaster. Imagine, if you will, a map that is bigger, that is populated with trees, and actually has a bigger garden. Maybe not even just a bigger garden. I don't think that's enough. How about a multi-tiered garden? I was playing Steel Brain Rot, right? And Steel Brain Rot was kind of cool. I like the idea that as you advance through your rebirths, you get multiple levels above you for storing your units, right? I thought that was kind of cool. You can't do that in this game because your huge plants on the bottom tier would grow through the tier. That doesn't work. But what about a tiered system that goes backwards? So your first tier is at the front, and then the next tier, a little bit higher up, some stairs. Boop. So a couple steps, boop, boop, like a hill. You're on a hill. Another tier here, and then another tier over here. You go up and up and up, and you have 3 different gardens. That's kind of cool. Wouldn't you like 3 different plots here? Imagine your first tier's here, your first plot's here, and the map is designed so that back here, there's about 4 or 5 steps, and there's another garden up here, and then 4 or 5 more steps, and then another garden, the 3-tier garden. But you don't have access to the 3-tier garden. You see other people on your server, you log into your public server, and Billy over there has access to his 3-tier garden, and he's put his plants all throughout his garden. He's got these really big prismatic plants in the back tier, and the middle tier he's got this whole like pumpkin farm going on, and the front tier he made a tomato farm, right? And you're looking at that going, man, I love that 3-tiered system. I want to plant on my 2nd tier. And you go to plant on your 2nd tier, and a message pops up. If you want access to your additional tiers, you have to reset your shekels down to 0. And you think to yourself, okay, cool. I don't mind doing that. I've got all these shekels. Let's earn more shekels. But what you don't realize, and what maybe people will realize, is that the developers, upon releasing this beautiful map with this great update and all of these extra gardens for you to do and be creative in, they've also decided to remove shekel trading. You heard me. Remove shekel trading. And not only remove shekel trading, but remove fruit gifting and trading. You must make it so that there is no way for anybody who has glitched a bone blossom to be worth $6 sextillion to be able to take that illegally acquired, exploited, glitched fruit and flood the economy with it once more. You have to fix the economy, which means removing shekel trading, fruit trading, and fruit gifting. The money you have is the money you've earned. And you've earned through planting, through mutating, through buying new seeds, through planting, through mutating, and making the most beautiful epic garden you can. So simultaneously, when you release a beautiful map update with this visually stunning concept of being able to have multiple gardens, and you log in and Billy's got multiple gardens and it makes you want multiple gardens, you have to make the sacrifice to realize, okay, if I'm going to have an amazing garden like everyone else, I have to sacrifice my shekels and start over. Not start over. You keep your pets, you keep your plants, you keep your seeds, you keep your cosmetics, but the shekel economy gets reset. You can no longer trade the shekels. You can no longer trade the fruits. What you have is what you earn. And this is just hearing those words. Doesn't that sound awesome? The hard work you put into the game is rewarded with the money you have and you've earned. I think that's fantastic. That would be the ultimate update that I believe Grow a Garden needs. It needs to fix its economy, recognize that the basic game loop of the game is broken beyond repair. And the only way to do it is to give everybody an update they've been asking for and to entice them with a carrot on a stick right in front of them. You can have this update. You can have this beautiful garden that you see other people have. But all you have to do is sacrifice your shekels and start over. But just start over with the economy and not start over with the whole game. What do you think of the concept, guys? Comment down below with your thoughts. Show the developers how you feel about this idea. Some of you are going to be upset. Some of you that sell pets for money and use shekels to buy those pets from other players are going to be very upset. What do you mean I can't use my infinite shekels that I acquired with my exploited bone blossom and my raccoons farming it infinitely to buy up these pets to sell them on the black market for money? You're going to be upset. I don't care about you. I care about the average player. I care about people like my daughter. I care about people like parents who have their own kids and those kids no longer play the game. I care about them. And I want them to have an awesome, amazing gardening game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit subscribe. Become part of the first 300K OGs on the channel. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.